Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pro Wrestling World Talks with Dan and Mac.
The grand return! I have returned from the ships of the majestic seas. I have returned. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are. You are listening to PWW Talks or watching on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. I am your host with the most, fresh off his trip in the North Atlantic, and I survived. It was not a Titanic, more or less.
Because I'm not booked.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't booked to the Titanic this time. And on top of that, I did not enter a submersible and go down and visit like that fucking moron Stockton Rush. Because I'm a lot smarter than that man. Are we booing the fact that I didn't die in an explosion? Are we?
No, we're booing Stockton Rush.
Okay, that's better. I am your host, Dale Burke, and I am ever joined by my best friend for over 20 years.
Yeah!
And also the co-host of this program, Mac. Did you miss me?
Boo ran.
Cornbread, damn it, cornbread!
I don't have an appropriate soundbite that I could play for that. Just throwing that out there. I will have to give you this one.
Vast amount of marijuana.
Of course. That was one thing that I definitely was like, Jesus Christ. These edibles.
I did notice in some of the pictures that you and your family have posted online, because I know you as well as I know you, that yes.
Vast amount of marijuana.
And I know, by the way, knowing some of your family as well as I know them, that you are not the only one.
Oh, no. There were, probably they didn't go as hard as me. But also, you got to understand.
One person at least did, I feel like.
Yes, she probably did. But at the same time.
Wow, I wasn't even going to do gender. You just went right into it.
Well, actually, I already got to tell a story because I said I would.
Oh, boy.
She was. So, we'll give you context. I guess we could talk about Dan's summer vacation. I feel like it's the first week of school, and now I have to explain. What did you do this summer, Dan? Well, so I was just on a cruise through Princess Cruise, the Princess Majestic, that left out of Boston and headed to ports in Portland, Maine, Halifax, Nova Scotia, St. John's, and Regina as well. And it was a hell of a trip. This was the first cruise I had been on since 1998. I was 15 then and could not drink or smoke or anything partaking that maybe I would have been able to. And also, that week, that trip, I was roomed with my brothers who were of drinking age and were coming in at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I would cry myself to sleep every night because my parents would bring me on these excursions, and I was barely getting any sleep because I remember one night I literally had a crying breakdown because it was like the 3rd or 4th night of this in a row, and it was almost like you were in prison, and it was just like they just broke you down, like you felt like you were in solitary confinement because it was just you're not getting enough sleep. Plus, you're not being able to tie it on as much as they are because of the fact that they're drinking and they're out having fun, and you can't. Like, the most thing that you're going to do is in the teen club is maybe they got this is 98. Maybe they got an N64, so you're playing Mario Kart 64 on, like, a big screen. That's pretty much the big, like, draw that you had to deal with as a kid at 15 years old being on a cruise. However, an adult, holy shit. Like, you're having a ball, especially if you get the drink package, for Christ's sake. 15 drinks a day were allowed in the drink package. I remember I took a picture at one point. It was right after I had just finished breakfast, and I was having a cigar and a Heineken draft at 9 o'clock in the morning. Uh, until which I had showed Mac in a picture and promptly got told to go fuck myself. Which I guess, hey, I guess you kind of deserve it. It is a cruise.
But hold on, you did it more than once, though.
Oh, of course, I did it all week.
I don't remember what the first one was.
I did all week.
Yeah, but it was a couple, right? So the hot tub was one. I remember distinctly. I was just like, "Go fuck yourself," and then the beer. Yes, the beer was the other one, and I just remember my comment was, "I say to you again, go fuck yourself."
The hot tub video, which there was more than one, folks, but the one that got published on the on social media was.
At least it was the tasteful one. That's all I could say. That was the tasteful
one.
Yeah.
The other one, which kind of was just like I was just gleefully rubbing it into people that I was on the ship, like, and the video where I was, it wasn't just a regular hot tub. It was a hot tub on the top deck of the entire ship, and just I'm overlooking the moon is like shining down, beautiful full moon, and it's just the open ocean, like as a backdrop. Truly fantastic. And not only that, I also found out on Tuesday that they had an indoor pool with also 2 hot tubs located on the 17th deck as well. I'm like, why the hell did anybody tell me about this? Like, I don't know. I felt like the brother and when the hell did this happen? And fucking Back to the Future. What do you mean the car? When the hell did this happen? Like that is exactly how I felt of finding out on Tuesday. What do you mean there's an indoor pool and 2 jacuzzis to go to? Why didn't anybody tell me this? Because the indoor part was heavily less crowded compared to the outdoor, because there was a outdoor pool with, I believe, 4 or 5 separate jacuzzis, plus a whirlpool in the center. But then somebody told me, they said, oh yeah, there's an indoor pool. It's called the Hollywood Pool Club. And it's got, Olympic-sized swimming pool with the 2 hot tubs, and it's indoor. Oh, and there's a bar. Great. Oh, this is fantastic. If you go on a cruise, it's a bit dangerous now, because the cruise was before, you actually had to go to a bar and, order your drink. Now you can order your drink on an app. I want a Heineken. They bring it to you wherever you are on the ship, because you wear a medallion, and the medallion has a little GPS system, so everybody knows at all times where you are on the ship. But also, too, it's their way of being able to, pay for shit. Even though if you had the drink package, you pretty much were paying for anything. My God. It was just the fact that, and I'm not that much of a drinker anymore. I mean, if this was 15 years ago, and I was, let's say, me and the co-host of this program were on that ship 15 years ago, they would have had to wheel us off on fucking, I don't know whether... If they have like the hotel carriages where they put your bags on, the baggage carts, they're just wheeling it off on each port. They're just like, these guys have had enough. Are you sure?
No,
yeah,
they'd be wheeling us out on those things.
Yeah, I know. They would. We'd be on the baggage carts. They'd just be like trucking us out. Not just in Boston. It would be each port. They'd just be like, these guys need some room. These guys need some time. I don't know if anybody in my party hit 15 drinks a day. I know some of them came close. So also on the top deck, there's also another part of the ship that's higher. And that's where also a lot of the sports fields are. The very, very, very tippy top is like a mini golf course. And then below that is a kind of netted in basketball court / tennis court. So we were up there, It was my niece Kimberly, my nephew Chris, and sister Kayla. And so what happened was Kayla, the ship is in motion, mind you. Kayla threw Kim, my niece, a soccer ball and instinctively kicked it. Kim kicked it. The problem was it went over the netting and is now floating in the Atlantic Ocean. To the point where someone from one of the upper golf course looked at us and said, "Did that go over?" And then we just promptly ran out of the golf court, ran out of the basketball court, so that way no one could be like, yes. I mean, if they had cameras, they could probably tell it was us. And I'm sure it's happened before, but it was still just like, I don't want to be around for this.
Vast amounts of marijuana.
I don't want to get yelled at by the captain for my niece kicking a soccer ball over the netting and it landed in the Atlantic Ocean. Like, we don't need we don't need that today. But it was a very fun trip, a relaxing trip. Of course, though, I had come back to work, which a week before another academic year begins. So, and also the fact that we moved offices from our temporary one to our new permanent one this week. So really it was, it's a blast. It's like all the relaxation that I got out last week. It's just like within 4 days, I'm just like, nope, long gone. But then I remembered this morning, I got the alert sent to my phone that I could start booking dinner reservations for Disney in October. So that's that to look forward to this weekend to plan the next trip. I do have to thank my folks if they're watching this. I try not to say as many F words now because I don't know if they watch it as much as they used to because of that. But yes, they did a heck of a job planning this and getting us all together. And my mother said that it was a good trip considering how little my dad complained about it. So she thought it was a good trip because my dad complained about it very little. They're going to Colombia in 2 months, so I'm just wondering how he's going to enjoy that. Jesus. Like, what? It's not going to be like it was the last week. I'm just like, yeah, it's a good time and that type of stuff. He's just going to be over there. He's going to be like, what am I doing? Is this enjoy? Jeremy, Mauricio, what did this person say? Oh, good Lord. But no, it was a fun, relaxing trip. I am glad to be back. It was also a nice little week to unplug from the wrestling news kind of space. Really, not a lot went on. A lot of stuff that was kind of rumored went on, except for the Karrion Kross stuff, which, mind you, when I was wearing a lot of wrestling T-shirts, especially the Roman Reigns shirt, the original OTC one that I had on, people said were complimenting it. They complimented the other wrestling shirts I wore this week, which I tried to keep it minimal. However, there was one thing they did not bring up to me, and that was Karrion Kross. I didn't hear about him one time on the ship or in port. So, say what you want there. I feel like I made my statement about him 2 weeks ago, which I felt like that he was. And I made other claims too. I made some other comments too. I think last week in some chats where I just said probably the most self-absorbed talent that I have seen in a number of years. Just the it's just the fact of that you have to have a track record of being successful as a top guy before you can start considering, and it's just the crowds, the chanting. It's not like a CM Punk thing. where people were legitimately angry about CM Punk, which is why sometimes you went to Chicago for a number of years and it was just deafening CM Punk chants. I don't hear that with Karrion Kross. I don't hear that "We Want Kross." I don't think we ever really heard that. I know there was a smattering of it when they were in Boston and some other cities, but not to the extent of overwhelming. He's another one of these guys I think that was just built up by an internet darling fan base with really no track record, a boring in-ring style, and really one of the only attributes that has really been good for him has been his wife. And that's it. I think that at the end of the day, you can say what you want, and no matter if it's a work, I'm not even going to comment if it is or not. I think it's funny that he got insulted that his wife didn't get offered a contract, considering the fact of that she's done nothing in the company and has not really, I guess, shown. I don't know if she's gone to them and say that she wants to wrestle. I don't know if she's made that commitment. I don't know if it was just as a manager and she just wanted to stay a manager. I also don't know if they're going to end up in AEW because of the Don Callis rumors. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not here to comment on innocence or guilt at all because, again, no one's got concrete information on that. So I don't know if he's going to end up in AEW. I don't know if he's going to end up in TNA or if he's going to go to Japan or Mexico, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if he's going to end back in the big company and this is all just one big, we worked you again, I'm a genius booker. Look, they've obviously been working the sheets lately with the Seth Rollins stuff. So, they don't mind doing it. So if this guy in 6 months all of a sudden appears out of nowhere and they're running some big time angle, I wouldn't be surprised. In my opinion, if you overpay, you're going to have to, so to speak, probably overpay him, probably more than he's worth. I don't think he's a big time free agent. I don't think he's going to make you as much money as he thinks he's worth. I know he's got his book out, which I don't know. I feel like you've had to do something in your career to write a book, like be a champion or, and I'm talking, and I understand. Oh, well, he was champion of NXT. All right.
So were a lot of people.
Exactly.
Like what's your point?
Like that's the thing. It's like this guy got a book deal, and it's like, for what? Because he can do an impression of Jesse the Body Ventura, and his wife is like a 12.
The impression is good, but yeah, I got
It's a good impression, but so is Will Sasso's, for Christ's sake. And I think that's do a pretty goddamn good one too, down in the Baja.
The Baja.
We got to go down to the Baja and talk about Saturday night's main event. I guess it's going to be a Peacock exclusive. NBC is tired of the Body, so it's just going to Peacock.
I wonder if they'll keep that on Peacock.
They already said they would. They are. That's the plan. It's going to be a Peacock exclusive. And Peacock will, the Clash in Paris is the last one. That is, they have reached their dates. It is not going to start at the first of or early 2026. It is starting in September with, of course, WrestlePalooza, which will be taking place on the ESPN app as the first PLE that they're going to get. And that's going to be the official one. And then that is also going up against All Out.
I think it's I don't think it's All Out. I think it's Forbidden Door, isn't it?
No, Forbidden Door is this weekend.
Oh, is that
Forbidden
what
Door
this weekend? That's
yes, this
weird.
is Forbidden Door this weekend.
That's weird.
Even though it's really not a Forbidden Door anymore, considering the fact of that New Japan is.
Well,
Not good.
we'll put a pin on that and talk about that after, because there's something in AEW we also have to talk about. We could probably talk about it right there. But outside of Karrion Kross, the bigger news from WWE this week, outside of WrestlePalooza as well. But more swords clash in the castle. Somebody who will not be defending the Women's World Championship at Clash in the Castle is Naomi. Because we found out why she was not on Raw 2 weeks ago, and it was because she is pregnant.
Jimmy Uso probably sat there and was like, "Oh, you got a push coming? Not anymore."
I got the vibe.
What the fuck?
I got the vibe that they've been trying for a while. I don't.
Well, yes.
I don't know that, but
they
that's
said
the
they
vibe.
have because of fertility issues and things of that nature. Which, to be honest, I think it's a great story. I think it's a great story, and I'm happy for them. But at the same time, I'm a little sad because we're not going to be able to see the run that she's because let's face it, with the exception of like Alexa Bliss, because Alexa Bliss, when she came back this year at the Rumble, the fans immediately were just like, but it hurt Becky's momentum. It hurt it. And I'm not saying that's
she came out okay.
She came out okay, but it wasn't like Alexa took the time off and people just went crazy because Alexa's just got something. Like Alexa just has it that where people were just, she can come back at any point and people are just going to go apeshit.
I think people were excited to see where it was going to go, especially after Bray's passing with the whole, Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy thing. And even before she went out, they were kind of teasing something with Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy, and Alexa Bliss. So, I mean, I think people were excited for that aspect, like, they can pick up where they left off and all that. I don't really think it hurt Becky that much in the long run anyways. Alexa, I don't think it hurt because she wasn't really that main event at that point. I think what's going to hurt Naomi here, if her goal is to come back, is her age.
Yes.
She's already upper 30s. She's probably going to be out for at least 2-3 years, probably, because you got to figure that she's only a couple weeks pregnant.
18 months to 2 years, I would say.
I mean, it depends on a lot of factors is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would say objectively probably 2 years. But, again, that doesn't include all the other things that go with childbirth. And I'm not talking just about quote-unquote baby weight, but, there's postpartum depression, there's figuring out, logistics to things now that a lot of people struggle with. So, listen, at the end of the day, though, congratulations to Naomi. I think that's awesome news. And no one on the internet wrestling community, was looking away from the fact that she leaves her belt on the Slim Jim logo.
Big Jim. Of course, that's become the new meme as well. I mean, I'm happy for the couple as itself, for both of them. I mean, to be able to pull this off after not thinking because of fertility issues and things of that nature. But again, the timing of it sucks from a creative perspective, I think, and also from a momentum perspective for Naomi's career, because she really had come into her own. She really pulled off a really great heel turn. She worked a great program with Jade Cargill that not only elevated Jade Cargill, but it elevated herself. Came off of a very hot angle in her cash-in, when you can argue one of the best women cash-ins ever. Pulled it off, had a great match at SummerSlam, and now it's all over. The funny jokes of Stephanie Vicure being the one to scare her, and the prospect of this scared her into not having the match, which, hey, that's all in all possible, because now it's you have a women's division that's wide open again. And the rumor has it is that now this is going to be their window of opportunity to get Roxanne Perez the championship right out of the gate. Which, I mean, I'm not against that because
no,
again,
I don't want that right now.
I mean, but you did it for Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton's 25. I mean, this is a similar age.
I think you give it to Stephanie first and let them feud. That's what I would do.
That's fair. That's fair, and I think a great, good analysis. But I wouldn't hate either idea. I wouldn't hate it.
The dynamic that she has with the Judgment Day, I feel like it's kind of weird. That's the only thing for me. Whereas the problem with Stephanie right now is they're icing her.
Yes.
Like and they did it again this week, and you could have figured something out this week when Naomi vacated the title and announced something for this Monday prior to Clash in the Castle. But all we got is Michael Cole saying, "What does that mean for Clash in the Castle?" It kind of sucked, And I think I know everybody's getting shit on the idea of a battle royal for this because they've done it so many times, but you just vacated the title. You have a legit number one contender already in the wing for the next PLE, which is at that point 2 weeks away, basically. You need something. You need something. So
you do.
Absent of any kind of bracket, which is not going to make sense unless you devote the entire night of Raw to, which you are not going to do at this point, you need something. And the Battle Royal just makes the most sense. Because if you pick somebody, then it's kind of like, well, what the fuck? Why not this person? Why not that person? So it's a shit show, unfortunately, that they're kind of left with.
Picking champions is not exactly, historically, it has not gone over well. If you remember when Triple H got handed that World Heavyweight Championship back in 2002, there was even though he was the rightful number one contender, there was still a bit of dialogue from people that was.
I hated it at the time.
Well, they just handed him the title.
I hated it at the time, yeah. But I mean, at the same token, like I could look back at like a week or two later and be like, all right, as much as I hate this, I don't really care for Triple H right now. It does make sense. So
we hated it then, but we loved it now. Like that's the thing.
Love is a strong term, but I don't hate it still.
We don't hate it now. Like it's just we look at that era of him and like that reign of terror that everybody talks about, and it's just like, yeah, it was actually good. Like that was a lot of fun. And two, it's just you think of what he was able to do out of that 3-year run, because he was able to build up Batista and Randy Orton. If Randy Orton was not built up the way he was because of his work with Evolution, Triple H, and Ric Flair, he wouldn't still be going as long as he is and being a stalwart and a beacon. And you can make the argument is probably the best of the last era or the last generation. Of course, some would argue, John Cena, and I would be like, no, it's Orton. But I'd probably do that biasly. But it's true. That's just how I feel. It's Randy. If I had to pick, it would be Randy Orton. And you look at Batista, and not just the fact of his box office career in WWE, which was highly successful for a shorter amount of time than what John Cena did, but that was because Batista transitioned into being, as of, I think the Hollywood Reporter came out with a list this week, as the best wrestler turned actor in Hollywood history. He was voted the number one guy to do so. And I think it's a fact. It's very hard to argue because of the work that he has chosen to do. He's not doing the same old, the same role, or, like some people that just play themselves the whole time. Sorry. That just play a version of themselves. Sorry. They just have the versatility of they're just going to play the same person time and time again. where you look at Batista's work, where he's worked up with some top directors and also other just not the same project. Yes, he's done the Marvel blockbusters, but he's also done a James Bond film. He's done work with M. Night Shyamalan. He was in the Dune series, I think.
He was, yeah.
He was also in the sequel, I think, to Knives Out too. So I mean, he has done some really good, outstanding work other than just Drax or other roles other guys are in. It's not like he's doing Fast 10 or Fast 11 and Fast 68.
Stop. Please stop. Don't jinx that, please. Let's not wish that into existence.
What, Fast 68?
No, just him being in those movies too.
I don't think he would do that.
You never know. You never know at this point. A job is a job for some of these people, and I'm not trying to be derogatory towards him, obviously, when I say that, but actors in general, some, especially ones that are hungry, take whatever they can get. And
can you imagine
I don't
if he
want that
wins
for
like
him.
an Academy Award?
I mean, he's probably going to win it before a few people, that's for sure.
He's got a chance. I mean, because it's just the fact of it's just his work selection. Like, he's not just some guy that's going to take some dumb like, they'll come to him and they'll be like, well, he played like this. Yeah, I'll do it. Because he's up for the challenge, which he's a very likable guy, and I always I preferred him over Cena. I think and I wasn't the only one. There were a lot of people, including Mac, that we were on that Batista bandwagon because it was just like, yeah, this guy gets it.
I was on anybody but John Cena's bandwagon, so I mean, yeah, I was 100%.
Plus, the theme song was cool with Saliva. Love that entrance with the fucking machine guns. I was just like, yeah, I'm pumped for this. This fucking guy rules. Yeah, and he was in, like, Triple H made him. Those are two guys that you can look at it with Triple H and be like, oh, he has made a contribution, because he's been in some, like, we wouldn't have had Drax performed as well as he was. We wouldn't have had a lot of these other films that he's been in. And just also the great work that because he had some great feuds when he was in WWE too, like as a wrestler. The match he had with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 23 was probably the best match on the card. Yes, I understand people will say, well, John Cena and John Michaels are good. Their match in London was better on Raw. It was. Yep. It was a better match. The Raw match was better. And, Batista and Taker were fantastic. That was the match of the show. I felt like that was the main event, because I remember just after that show, I'm like, I don't care what happens. Like, I threw my hands up, like, I don't care. Main event was the main event. Whatever happens, happens. To be a fan again in that perspective, because now it's like I still gotta pay attention. Crap.
I don't. Yeah, sure. But yeah, congratulations to Big Jim and to Naomi.
Big Jim.
Yep, big Slim Jim. I mean, his name's right in the middle of the ring, like I said, so it's just irony. But again, congratulations to them. Kind of sucks for Naomi's run, but all the best.
Another singles run, another singles run ruined by an Uso, either self-inflicted or to someone else.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know who else got sabotaged?
Did you hear what Rikishi said about it? Where he said that it was irresponsible, and I was just like, shut the fuck up. It's gonna be your grandkid, for Christ's sake. He's just like, it was irresponsible. It's like, fuck you, dude.
I don't listen to him. I can't.
He is the
It's reasons like that I can't. I just can't do it. I know I probably should at least give him a chance, but when he says stuff like that, it makes me not want to.
Well, just his whole.
I did see other people say it though as well, outside of just him. I don't remember anybody specifically who said it, but I was like, really?
I haven't had Cornette say anything. Cornette did say some negative stuff about when Becky got, which she made a comment about, which is how irresponsible. which which I get a kick of, because again, I love Jim Cornette. I've made it perfectly clear. I love Cornette, but there are some things that he that he has
that being
takes
one of them.
issue with, that I'm just like, it's not 1955.
Yeah.
You know, like, they made a decision. I get it, but at the same time, like, it opens a spot for somebody else. And I think that the women care enough about the locker room where it's just like, I'm happy for you, but I'm going to take your fucking spot. And it's like, there's nothing you can do about it. Because what are you going to do? You're going to fight over it? Because the fact that, they're happy because a spot opens up, and they're happy for the person because, it obviously, this is a really joyous occasion for both of them. So for him to even be like, they're irresponsible. Come on, dude. You're going to be a granddad
That's the
again.
thing. Yeah, he's going to be the grandfather of that kid. Like,
and they're going to hear that in 5-10 years.
Your
you thought I was irresponsible?
Your parents were so irresponsible to have you. Like, shut up, dude.
Yes. That audio is going to live forever, Keish. You got to realize that.
I think he just talks for the sake of talking. Kind of like a lot of people. I hate to compound good news with bad news this way, but unfortunately, we do have bad news on the EW front. No one's pregnant, at least that we know about, but Danhausen got time added to his contract.
I cannot believe this. Like, I was just like, because I was expecting at any time in the next 2 months that he was just going to walk out on Raw one night and the fucking building was going to go nuts. And what?
I'm just going to be honest with you. This is the tactic that he pulled with Penta and Rey Fenix.
This is the exact tactic, because he knew it was going to happen. He knew it. He knew that he was going to sign with WWE. They're going to give him, and this cools him on. The thing about it is that this does nothing. It doesn't do anything. All you're doing is costing yourself money, and it's going to hurt his booking power. No, it isn't. Because all it does is it's going to make people realize, and then when he gets out in a year, they're just going to be like, he's going to be bad. Shows up. They're not going to care. It does nothing.
So this is the biggest problem that I have.
Stall momentum. It doesn't do anything.
It's not even that. This is the biggest problem I have. So first of all, they're holding him for nothing, basically, which you're not doing anything with him, so why not just give him his release like he wanted?
I'll take my monies. You're giving me money. I like the monies.
I like monies. But on top of that, and you kind of mentioned this earlier about New Japan, which is why I said put a pin on it, because this is another indie Ring of Honor guy that they brought in, did a few things with, and have done absolutely nothing since. And listen, I know he got hurt, but that's not the reason they're not doing anything with him. And the reason I know that, as all of you are going to find out in the next few weeks, he's not going to get booked anyways.
No.
He barely was in the first place, unless it was like a comedic act.
He's also another victim of, if you notice the timeline of when they stopped booking him, it only makes sense.
I know
of why they said, of what, and we all know what that was in the last 2 years or so, which, what's happened in the last 2 years at AEW? Who left 2 years ago? Oh, that's right. The guy who's making a shit ton of money at WWE and is like one of the most talked about wrestlers in the entire world still. And you guys had him, and you fucked it up.
I think it's also very funny that video of him bringing a Punk a shirt before SummerSlam,
that was hilarious.
Probably didn't help. Well,
he probably already knew at that point.
He might have, yeah.
He probably already knew, because I guess his contract was supposed to run out at the end of July, and then
he knew then, yeah.
So he knew by then. And he requested, he's just like, look, I don't want to get renewed. I want to go. I just want to get released. And, because he knows He knows what awaits him. Not having to take bumps pretty much all the time, but just doing segments with R-Truth and or Ron Killings, depending on what week it is.
I think it's truth, but I don't know.
Or hosting shows on I was going to say Peacock, but he can't even do that anymore, considering the fact they're going to be like
Got ESPN, probably.
yeah, they're just going to have him host. They're going to bring back like that old show with the two guys that were sitting like watching like old stuff from early ESPN.
I don't remember, but yeah,
Cheap Seats. I think it was Cheap Seats.
I think so.
It might. So they just bring back Cheap Seats with Danhausen and a guy named Phil, where they just watched like Harry Carey clips all day.
Jesus.
I mean, look, it doesn't make any sense to me. It sets a bad precedent as a boss. You've done this again before. People know you're doing it. It alienates your fan base because, there's going to be some people that are just going to be like, why are you? And it's about the money. I'm sure you're giving the guy, like, he's got to be making probably six figures.
Who, Danhausen? Probably.
Yeah. So it's probably, you're maybe another 50 or 60,000 a month that you're paying this guy and you're doing nothing with. Why don't you just cut him? Why don't you just,
It's punishment. It's punishment.
It is. It's dumb and it's petty.
It is. And
It's
listen,
dumb and it's petty.
If you want to add injury time and you're actually going to use a guy, I'm fine with that. That makes sense. I don't really like it for the talent, especially if the talent does want the out. But if you actually want to use the talent for a little bit, I'm fine with it. But let's be real. In any of these scenarios, whether it be in AEW or WWE or in any sport, if you're going to add injury time, it's a safe bet you're not going to use them. Because really, you're just trying to decrease their market value to get something better out of it if it's a trade in a regular sport, or in this case, try to re-sign him cheaper because you've decreased his value by keeping him off television.
I'll tell you, Kenny Omega better have a good lawyer.
Yeah.
He better have a good lawyer. Because I think Kenny and the Bucks, I don't think are going to be long for the world of AEW soon. Because I think that the lore is just gonna catch them at some point. Because, well, I think Kenny at least. I don't know about the Bucks because it depends who's gonna have some. It depends who's gonna be an executive when he retires or not. Like it's gonna be the one having to make some talent decisions of just like, I don't know, guys. Like I don't know.
I just think that at the end of the day, I think Kenny should go. He gets a WrestleMania and he's good to go. And the Bucks could logistically probably do the same. I just don't know if they're going to want to for a variety of reasons. But at the same token, I know there's so many counter arguments to this, and I don't want to get bogged down by it too much. But I do kind of think that at the end of the day, Tony's not doing himself any favors, but also I really don't think that WWE needs to counter program at this point anymore.
They really don't. I think it's and AEW has their. We weren't really going to discuss it at length, and the reason why is just because of the fact is that how should I put this? Forbidden Door does not have the desirable effect that it did 3 or 4 years ago because New Japan is not New Japan of 3 or 4 years ago. It's not what it was 5 years ago. It's not what it was 6 years ago. It's not even probably what it was a year or two ago.
But I blame Tony Khan for that personally.
Oh, of course, because he's shrimp-minded.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying about the Indies, Dan, and that's what I'm saying about Ring of Honor. And it's why it ties into the Danhausen conversation, because Danhausen is another one of those guys who is an indie darling, who did have his time in Ring of Honor, which Tony Khan bought, but also, to your point, which we're talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling as well, he like strip mines them. And it doesn't help the talent. The only few talents it's maybe helped are the guys like the Bucks, like Cody Rhodes, like Kenny Omega, and also, to a lesser extent, which I think he would have done on his own, Okada. But one of these guys he brings over, he doesn't do anything with them. And it's the same with the majority of them. It's why Danhausen gets lumped into this conversation as well, because he does a couple things. That's it. Like, do you remember when he had that Luigi guy from the Indies come in to do his pizza
Luigi
shtick?
Primo.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Like, brings him in because a couple people thought it was funny.
Embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
That's
the thing. It's like he gets a fad, he runs with it for a couple weeks. Okay, this isn't working anymore, and he just tosses it. That's why we keep referring to the Tony's Toys.
And don't forget too that because we're lumping into this AEW stuff. Excuse me. We're lumping into this AEW stuff with all the rumors coming out of Chris Jericho making his return to WWE, which, God for fucking bit, I don't want that to happen. That'd be terrible.
NDA.
It would be the worst thing ever, only because the fact that he kind of sucks. Like,
he's also what, 57?
He's 57, and he's just shitty. Like, he's just not good.
We could have Braun Breaker come in and do Breaker math with him,
Yeah, it's...
you're 47, God. You're 40, you're like 100 years combined. I thought that was hilarious. I'm sorry. I really did.
Well, I mean, it was hilarious. I just, J&J Security.
I know.
That was probably my favorite meme of the week, too, but this week was turns on Raw.
Burn it down.
Shuts Raw off.
Yep.
Like, it's just that, because that's exactly how I feel right now. Like, it's just...
Yeah, we can talk about that after if we want. I don't just... Yeah. The entire stable and what they're doing with him right now just gives me massive douche chills. I'm sorry.
And he's going to fucking have this... This reign is going to go on forever, and I'm just going to be like, please end this.
He's probably going to hold it till Mania.
Oh, and I'm going to hate every second of it. We're just going to be sitting there and being like, oh my God.
You're not alone, trust me.
No, it's just, and he's not a top guy. Like, you can't make him, he's garnish. He's not the main course.
Well, so, listen, I always felt Seth Rollins is a great transitional champion.
Yes.
Here's the problem. I don't want to talk too much about this right now, but you have 4 guys at the top, if you include him, and then and now we're getting, supposedly at Clash, we're getting Roman and Bronson Reed. Why isn't Roman in the main event?
Why isn't Roman just challenging him and winning the title and being champion
or
again?
That.
Why just give him the title again and make him champion for 2 years?
Just take him,
at least I'll care.
Take him out of the Bronson Reed match, make it a fatal 5-way instead of a fatal 4-way.
Can we just have Paul Heyman just fuck over Seth Rollins and go back to Roman?
I'm all for that.
Like, can't we just do that? And I know people will be like, oh, you want that? Like, oh, it's just a rehash. Who cares? Roman's interesting. Seth isn't.
Roman's also over as a face right now, so it's going to be different.
People give a shit. Seth Rollins comes out. He's at the point now. He's got go away heat. They want him out of here because they don't react to him anymore.
They react to the song. I never thought I would actually say that after a couple of years ago.
Oh, God, that full fucking thing?
Yeah. Now it is just the song, which is kind of funny.
I never thought... he wanted to kill him that day. Oh, man. I've never heard... This is an old podcast that we did, and we had good old Sean Young. He came out of the program, and someone brought up... We were talking about Seth Rollins, and he's just... He says to the guy, he's like, do you know what over is? And the host wanted to fucking kill him. I could just tell through his tone. He was fuming.
It immediately changed. Yeah.
Fuming. He was biting his teeth, biting his lip, and just be like, ah. Oh, man.
It immediately changed.
The mood is about to change. Like, yes, it has.
Yeah.
But it's, I hate to say this, but it's like as time has gone on, it's like, yeah, maybe it was just a song. Like,
I don't think it was then. Now, yeah. Definitely now.
it's just, no one wants to see Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins. I don't want to see it. The majority of the audience doesn't want to see it. The majority of the audience, and let's face it, you have to start looking at the Netflix numbers, folks. They have to start looking at the Netflix numbers and being like, why are the numbers going down? And it's just like, oh, wait, maybe it's because our world champion sucks. Maybe.
I don't
maybe
think,
it's because of that.
I don't think that's all it is. I think there's a lot of reasons. And I think that can't be understated. And I think the numbers are down on SmackDown too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I haven't seen a SmackDown report, even though everybody's looking at SmackDown right now too, and it's just like they changed the logo. We're just a bunch of Z's.
I know, it's awful. It's the entire thing.
I hate to laugh, but it's just like everybody else I feel like the memes that people are creating are better creative than anything WWE's putting out right now. And it's such a because we both came out of SummerSlam and we were both happy. And I remember going on my cruise. I'm like, hopefully when I get back, something happened, and nothing happened. The big story was Naomi getting knocked up. That was the story. And that was it. Nothing else. I think Roman got his shoes stolen again, maybe? Or, no, Roman...
That was 2 weeks ago.
Like, but it's just... That's what I feel like we're at a point of now. It's just... Are we really at that? Like, do we need to...
Right.
Go back to the old shit. Go back to what works. Put the belt back on Roman. Just put him up against some people that you feel like are ready. Do a CM Punk Roman Reigns feud. Because you can do that now. Because we've done the Seth Rollins CM Punk thing. And now we're going to have Punk chasing him for the title, which is something they wanted to do a year ago or something. I don't know. They wanted to do it at last WrestleMania, but then Punk got hurt.
Yep.
And then Seth Rollins got hurt. But now it's just, yeah, all right, it was a great ruse. Love a good ruse sometimes. But at the same time, it's like, nah. I would have just been rather that Punk won the title and Seth, like, cashes in but botches it or something, where Roman helps like Punk or something. I would have much rather that instead of just burn it down and immediately me wanting to turn the TV off. But I understand what they're doing. They want to make this like Evolution 2.0. It's like, oh, it's supposed to get Braun Breaker over as a champion. And it's like, do you need to do this? Do you need to bore me to tears with this shit?
Braun's already over by himself.
He is. He doesn't need this horse shit.
That's the thing.
Like
you don't need to make him Batista. Like that's the biggest issue that I have with it, or Randy, whichever you want to consider.
How many viral fucking moments have this guy had? Like like you go back to the Rumble, that did some traction. His spears, man, they go fucking viral. But now you're making him second banana to Seth Rollins, and it's just like, for what? For what? Because it's like, oh, we got to build Rollins has to have a feud. No, it's J&J Security. This isn't a fucking stable. It's not. It's him to have J&J Security so that way they can keep the title. Same thing as 2015. It's just 10 years later.
Yep.
And a part of me, and I hate to say this, and because you come off as an asshole for saying this, but this is just how I feel. I was hoping the injury was real just so they had to do a reset. because I hate this. It's making me not like Seth Rollins. I think it's diminishing what is going on with Bronson Reed. And it's also diminishing, especially what's going on with Braun Breaker. Because Braun...
but you're right. You're right,
It's hurting Braun in the long run. It is.
It is, because here's the thing, right? So you have a Fatal 4-Way. You supposedly, because of what was at least alluded to this past week on Raw with Roman versus Bronson Reed. So where's that leave Braun Breaker? I'll tell you where it leaves him.
Because I'm not booked.
Yeah.
Why?
And Braun Breaker is better than Bronson Reed. It's just a fact. I understand
both are going to be world champion at some point, but I do think that if we're looking at overall, I do agree that Braun is better. But I do like Bronson Reed as well.
I like Bronson Reed, but he's not Braun. Braun is your future. Braun is your guy in 5 to 10 years. It's going to be, he's your headliner. My problem is that you are hurting his development by making him almost feel like a bit player or someone's heater. He doesn't have to fucking be a heater for anybody because he's already been Intercontinental Champion. He's already been an NXT champion. He's already progressed. This is like a regression for him because it's like, oh, you need to keep the belt on Seth at any means necessary. Nobody fucking wants this. Nobody does. I don't want this. The majority of the audience doesn't want it. And don't give me this bullshit on Unreal, or I'm sure if Triple H used this.
I'm still not watching that.
I can't either. I just can't do it. I
feel
can't
like
bring
we have
myself
to at some point, but we don't have
I
time.
understand, but it's not even about the time. It's just bullshit.
Well, I meant for the show. I
understand that.
Because we have a review coming up. We should have a preview too, but we're not going to do that. We'll do a review and a preview next week, then a review after that.
Yes.
And then a couple weeks later, I think, is WrestlePalooza. So it's like, when is there time to actually talk about that?
When is there time to talk about it? And it's just like, I mean, I understand we're going to have to talk about it, but at the same time, because, again, we have to cover Pro Wrestling World. I get that. But also, it's like, it's hard for me to sit and have to watch a show about how everything works, right? Like, especially something that it's like, I know how a lot of this stuff goes, right? Like, it's just, I feel like a lot of this stuff should be common knowledge and not having to, it just, again, it's the same thing that I said. It's like, do I really want to know how David Copperfield does his tricks? I don't. I don't want to know how he makes flowers disappear.
It's stuff we know anyways.
Yeah.
And I just, it's a scenario where, like, we all know it's a business now. This isn't, the early 90s where there was still kayfabe. Kayfabe's dead. But I don't need to see it on full display on its own documentary. I just don't. No. And I've heard it's very much a vanity piece to Triple H. I don't really want to see that either. His career is one thing. I will look at a vanity project for that because I think Triple H had an awesome career. But for a documentary for one show, I'm not that interested in you, buddy.
It's the Dana White effect. It's just like, well, he's just pop. Yeah. It's like, I mean, do you really want to be lumped in with Dana White sometimes? Just saying.
There's a lot of people I want.
It's not just because it's just not because of the people that he.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
It's the incident with his wife. That. If he was not running the business that he's running, which is a fighting promotion, if he was a CEO of any other company, he would have been fucking fired.
Yeah.
So fired. But because he works in an industry that a lot of people that are off kilter work in. He got away with it. And yeah, I understand. Oh, it was a bad night. We had a little bit too much to drink. Still, dude, it's just, this is certain things you don't do. And, you know, yeah. But it's hard for me to sit and look at this project on Netflix with like, embrace it and be like, yeah, because I don't care enough. I don't care enough to know how it's run backstage. I don't care enough to hear about what happened at WrestleMania 41. Because then I'm just going to get mad because I'm just going to be like, that was your plan the whole time? Like, do we really want to know what geniuses came up with one of the worst WrestleManias of all time? Like, just sitting there, like, of course, it's just, you have the whole goddamn table saying, who should win the Royal Rumble? Punk, Punk, Punk. One asshole. Jey Uso. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, we should go with Jey Uso. Like, everybody said Punk. Why are you going with the one guy who said Jey Uso? And all of a sudden, fucking Michael Hayes, yeah, that's it right there. Doot. Fucking asshole.
Yeah, I don't need to get mad at my television for however long that documentary is.
I don't need to sit there and get mad. Like, look, I don't need to sit there and think to myself, wow, these guys really are fucking clueless. Because I've been pining for a job at that company for years. I think, I know, I can pray. And then, of course, it's just like, well, you're just some internet mark. Right. Mm-hmm. I can understand that argument 20 years ago. And I remember somebody did tell me that one time. They just said, and he was right, ultimately, because of my thought process, because I had an indie mindset, right? It's just like, oh, I'm going to have all the best workers on the show. It's like, that doesn't work anymore. Like, it's just like that. And that mindset to me is just like, like, because I don't want that. And I've seen other guys do it, and think to themselves, well, I just want all the best workers on the card. And yeah, they're great. They're good shows, but how many of them really made any money? And I realized in the last 5 to 10 years that it's not about sometimes the best worker. It's a lot about like where the best, it's about the person that knows when to do certain things at the right time. And maybe, like, I look at Brock Lesnar's second half of his career with his limitation. Everybody's just like, his limitations. Like, he only does like 3 moves a match. Yeah, but people still fucking pop for it like crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's effective enough, just use the same 3 plays. Who gives a shit? They're still going to pop for it. Every time he suplexes somebody, the audience goes fucking crazy. Every time he F5s somebody, people go fucking crazy. You don't need to kill yourself and do 75 moves a match and already have neck problems early on in your career like Will Ospreay. And that's why, and it bugs me. It bugs me because it's like, I love the spot. I'd love to be able to sit there and not try to argue my point, but I feel like I could just sit there with other people and just say, no. And it bothers me too when you have Hollywood writers and like guys who used to, because there was one point when there was the soap opera bust in Hollywood, where a lot of those writers ended up in WWE, and it's just like, ugh. But I understand too now, logically, you need at least one or two of those idiots because they're good at like writing cheesy dialogue where maybe I'm not exactly the best at dialogue, but I could also come up with segments that I know are going to work. And programs I know are going to work, but maybe dialogue. It's like, because even though I'm someone that's just like, well, if you can't do this bullet points, then what good are you? But I also know that there's some people that need direct dialogue, but they're over, so you have to put them on the show. Like it's just, it boggles the mind because it's like, why can't you just make LA Knight champion instead? I got to deal with Seth Rollins. I got to keep going back to that because I'm just like, I'm trying to find like everybody who I feel like could be champion over Seth Rollins right now because I'm just like, I have Cody as champion, which I'm happy for. Great. That's great. But fucking Rollins, man, get the belt off him.
Yep. But I think we should also talk about other news from the weekend prior to this, I guess, which was the airing on Saturday, the 26th, or the 16th, excuse me, I got my dates all mixed up, of Triple Mania. This is actually a great show.
It really was. A whole lot of viral moments, too. Like the Omos thing with the...
Microman, yeah. Otis.
I showed that to Steph, which she laughed her ass off at.
That's awesome. I didn't get a lot of pictures of the moments because I felt like I would have been there all night. Like, there were just so many. There really were.
Especially that Battle Royal, which almost went a half hour, which for a Battle Royal was an eternity, other than the Royal Rumble.
It did go for a while, yeah. I was a little surprised by that.
And it was also the longest match of the show because everything else was like under 20 minutes.
The longest match after this was the main event of only 15 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Every other match was shorter than that even, so
But there wasn't like anything under 10 minutes either. Like, which is surprising.
No, everything was 10 or more.
Everything was 10 or more. And the main event, I mean, Jesus, I did not expect, because Vikingo is their guy, right? Like, but not this night.
Like AAA is turning on him, man.
Well, there's a lot of people pissed off because Del Rio, they want Del Rio as champion, and they're not the only ones apparently.
I've heard.
There is a lot of, I guess, internal push from guys like Roman Reigns and a few others to bring in Alberto Del Rio to WWE, AAA, either here or there, either that company A, company B, company C, which we talked about this briefly before the show, and Del Rio's touchy because I think he's a great worker. And he also, what he has been able to do as a heel in Mexico, the way he's been able to rile up those crowds is A+ work.
Oh,
I'm going to give him that. It is A+ work. However, as a human being and as a person, he is, let's just say, less to be desired. And I think if you're a woman in the locker room with him around, I think it adds to your stress level because of his previous reputation. Especially did what he did with Paige and Saraya, which, if you've read her book, if you've seen her podcast, where she has talked extensively at certain points about their relationship, it was not good. It was one of the major reasons why she was going through a lot of the addiction issues that she was because of the fact that this guy. Oh God! Like he always kind of reminded me of Tony Montana sometimes, and not in a good way. Let's just put it there. Especially there was that one video, I think he was on live or something, and he was drunk off his ass and also off his ass, just bashing Triple H and calling him a piece of shit and all this type of stuff. It was like in Times Square, New York. Meanwhile, Paige is in the background, drunk off her ass, and it's what a time to be alive. And it's like, yeah, we're gonna bring him back. Yeah. I am. It's hard. It's a hard line for me to kind of toe because.
Well, I mean, listen, I'll say it this way, right? Regardless of those issues, I mean, it makes sense to bring him back, put him in AAA. People love him, and just call up the Kingo up.
Yeah, it's like because he's a special talent.
He really is,
and it's one of those deals. If you take him out of AAA and he goes to WWE, they're not going to boo him. They won't boo him.
Absolutely not.
It's like just get him out of AAA. And because he's going to be a talent elsewhere. Like, he's going to be a talent on the main roster. We even said this. I even said this after that first match he had with Gable. I was just like, fuck, this guy's going to be like.
Oh, I knew it even before that. A
massive deal.
Even though his EW breadth of work was not great, you could still see it. And if anybody followed him before even then, you've seen it. So the guy is a special talent. I know he had the injury, and he's been a shade slower, I feel like, since that injury, but he's still phenomenal. And the guy can go, he can work, and we've seen it. And we've seen it against talent that is, you mentioned Chad Gable, not the average luchador, still putting on great matches.
He may have slowed it down, but I think that's going to be to his benefit because
once he makes the jump, absolutely.
That's going to be to his benefit because I think because you look at, and I alluded to it earlier about the Will Ospreay stuff, there is legitimate concern that Ospreay is going to end up like in the Kurt Angle situation, like where his body is just going to start breaking down and just. He's not going to get shit fixed because when you got neck problems, it's like you can't just rehab it. You just can't. You have to consult somebody and just realize, okay, what am I going? How is this going to affect everything else? Like, you legitimately have to make that decision because, and I understand how great of a talent he is. I get all that. But I look at Kurt Angle now. I look at Kurt Angle when he was Perk Angle, which was a direct result of what happened when he let his body just break down. And, I hate seeing that Kurt Angle. I hate that. And I know people, but he had some of his best matches. The man looked unwell. He didn't look like an Olympic athlete. He looked like someone that was a guy on an addict. And that was the last image I wanted to see. When I want to see Kurt Angle, I want to see him in prime physical form and not someone that is going through it. And I think that, and he said that too. And I don't want to see that for Will Ospreay. And I fear that that's what's going to happen. And I look at Vikingo, and I think he realized I can't let that happen. I'm going to have to learn. I don't have to go full speed. I can go, let's do 75. Let's do 80. Let's do 85.
Right.
If I have to hit 90, 95, I'll do it at some point, but not now. I can go 75 today. And also, too, it's just, I'm sure the medical staff for WWE and now AAA, especially because I'm sure they share the
probably
same stuff.
Now, yeah.
And especially, too, with the UFC, Like they own that too. They probably have an extensive like medical staff that it's just same people sometimes. The rehabbing is better. The technology is better for these guys. That it's just like, all right, you need to get better sleep. You need to watch this. You need to get your diet checked out. These guys now are treated the way they should be and looked at as legitimate athletes and legitimate performers. And that's great all around for the company and also too for the reach, because I'm looking at this now and I am thinking to myself, this acquisition by WWE, their first two major shows, and they've just put them on YouTube, have been extremely well received by the public. And two, I think there's now a legitimate chance with everything that's been going on with YouTube and WWE, with the Vault and everything. There's a real good chance that WWE is just going to throw their entire library on YouTube, and I can't fucking wait.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do it.
It's like, all right, so we're going to make this much money from this entity, or we could just throw it all on YouTube. We don't have to worry about it, and it's just going to consistently bring in this much money for the rest of time. Because that's what it is. At this point, you don't have to worry about, you don't have to worry about, oh, we're going to lose stuff because it's going to go from one place to another. Now it's just on Google. It's just on YouTube. You throw all the stuff there, all your documentaries and stuff in log form. Millions of people will watch it. You're still going to get checks on it every single week, every single month, every single year, every single decade from now to the end of time.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I think that this is a great acquisition for all the reasons you just said, but also for those fans that want something a little bit different. And it's 100% what Saturday was. It's 100% what Worlds Collide was. It was fun. It was, and I remembered it because of something that was said weeks ago, the last time we did the shoot, about watching WWE, we feel like a consumer. Watching AEW, you feel like a fan. That's how I felt watching AAA. I felt like a fan again. And that made it fun. So let's do this. We'll go through them pretty quick here, all things considered, because so many things happen in this match. The reason you see Omos is because the first match, as we alluded to before, was the Battle Royal. So I'm just going to go through some of the participants here. We had La Parka, who is apparently the third La Parka, Laredo Kid, Joaquin Wilde, Abismo Negro Jr., Taurus, Aerostar, Mecha Wolf, Cruz del Toro, Otis. This next one, this one's tough. Pimpinella Escarlarda. I was close. Cybernetico, Microman, Octagon Jr., but before Octagon Jr. was Omos, who ended up winning, and that's why you see him on the screen for those that watch on platforms where you can actually watch it instead of listen to it. Omos was the winner of the Battle Royal. So as we said, this was almost a 30-minute match. This was a lot of fun. I didn't hate this at all. I was a little shocked that Omos won, but once he came out, I kind of figured he probably was anyways.
Pimpinella is that Pimpinella, I'll tell you, probably got one of the biggest reactions of the night, except Triple H. I saw some footage. He just like, what the hell is this?
It was funny.
It was very funny just watching the react. What is this?
Yeah, that was my reaction too. I was like, what is going on right now?
Apparently so they're 66 years old, by the way.
No,
it's 56.
I was going to say.
They're 56. I'm sorry, not 66. They're 56 years old.
That's funny.
I just like, you gotta be kidding. I mean, that was one of the viral moments of the match. than Otis. Than Omos.
That's funny.
I mean, it was a really fun match that a lot of viral moments. And Omos getting his second life in Mexico. It's like they're doing with Andre. It's like, oh, we'll just send him other territories. They put him in Japan and Noah, and now they're putting him in AAA. I mean, shit. They just.
I don't hate this though, because
I don't hate it at all.
There was a decent amount of WWE representation, obviously, in a lot of these matches, this one included. But I don't hate it because
he's an attraction.
He is an attraction, but you also had Otis, who's been out on injury, and this is the first time anybody's seen him, and he creates viral moments. And it was like I said, outside of Omos, I don't hate him winning. Obviously, like you said, he was the second guy out, or second to last guy, that came out. So I can't really hate on that either, all things considered. But he also had the viral moment with Micro Man, for Christ's sake. So
Giant wins Battle Royal. I mean, it's an oldest test. It's a tale of old as time. Like, that's Andre was the king of the Battle Royals for a reason. You're not losing anything. He's winning a match where no one's losing. No one's getting beat. They're getting thrown over the top rope. And he's not winning a championship or anything. I don't have a problem with it. And people are going, ooh and ah. He's going up against Micro Man. It's just like, come on.
Oh, shout out to another brilliant strategy of commentary with Corey Graves and Conan, joined this time by JBL. I guess the border crossing vignette is all but forgiven at this point.
Oh, Christ. The original Ice Agent. Surprised no one's hit him with that. If I worked for that company, that would have been probably my introduction, and then they would have been like, "You're fired," or they would have been like, "Don't ever say that again."
Probably,
don't ever say that again. But also, they probably would have somebody would have popped for it. There would have been a good portion of people that would have popped for that. The original Ice Agent, JBL. Meanwhile, in my ear, don't ever say that again. Sorry.
Well, it's AAA. It wouldn't have been him. I don't know who it would have been, but I don't think it was him.
Might have been Borash. Sorry.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. But the next match.
I like Borash too. So
no, I do too. The next match was for the AAA Latin American Championship. Champion El Masais, I believe that's how you say that, with Dorian Roldan, is defeated by El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., who was also at ringside, by the way, and got involved in the match. Yep. This is a great match, though. This was another one. This one's much shorter, obviously, about 10 minutes, 18 seconds, but I thought it was everything it needed to be. I thought the minute they showed his father, of course, he was going to get involved in the match. Just, of course. But otherwise, I thought it was serviceable. I thought it did exactly what it needed to do.
I agree. No, you're right. 100%. It did everything it needed to do. And, yeah, it was great.
Yeah. So the next match was a mixed trios match. Judgment Day's Finn Balor, J.D. McDonough, Raquel Rodriguez, joined by Roxanne Perez at ringside, against Mr. Iguana, Lola Vice, and Nino Hamburguesa. I did not expect the hamburgers to play a role in this match, and they did.
Oh, God. Did you buy your Finn Balor puppet yet?
I almost did, actually.
Oh, no!
I'm kidding. I didn't know.
Actually, that would have been great for the show, because at the show now you could just start your puppeteer program and just have you could just talk through the puppet now.
Yeah, that's true too. I could have done that.
I've done it for the show. Wrote it off as a tax write-off.
Yeah, I didn't really think of that. I thought that was funny. I thought the hamburger was funny. I thought JD trying to push Hamburguesa down was funny to start the match, because JD, my guy, you're a bobblehead. You're not pushing him down.
I'm surprised children start beating him with like sticks his head because of the fact it just looks like a fucking pinata.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yep. I was disappointed though in this match because Low Device did the high five hip thing with Hamburguesa, and there was no Stephanie Becerra to do that with in this match.
But you know what? I mean, it's still low device, so it's still not that bad.
That is very true.
She's a dime. That's top of the line.
Cornbread, damn it, cornbread.
God damn, that's right.
Yep. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of a weird match thrown together, but they made it work for what it was. And the puppet was funny, not for nothing. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh, of course, it was hilarious. Like just seeing Mr. Iquata's reaction to the demon puppet. Ah!
JBL calling Demonito! It's Demonito!
Demonito! It's Demonito, Michael!
I'm really curious if like that was thought up on the fly or him and Balor talked about that, because I was like, man, if that is not that thing's name, that's even funnier to me now.
Do you know how happy still, like anytime I think of of JBL now, it just automatically goes to getting the autograph, and he wrote as the inscription.
It's just good business.
He just
wait for
the pay-per-view. It's good business because of how long I've been saying that. And literally, I just asked him, I'm like, could you please write it, sir? Like, I don't ask for inscriptions, but I'm begging you. And he wrote it. I love it.
He really is the man.
Forever in my good graces. It's like, but yes, it just, Demonino! That's who the fuck knew that in 2025, a guy named Mr. Iguana with a hand puppet is going to be one of the most over baby faces in all of pro wrestling right now.
It's so weird.
It really is.
And then he was on Raw this week. So I mean,
yeah.
dude, they're push him. I don't care, but jeez, this is just funny.
He's the new Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh my god. Anyways, moving on. So the next match was for the AAA World Tag Team Championship. Pagano and Psycho Clown defeat the champions Los Garza, Berto, and Angel by pinfall in just under 13 minutes.
I am glad that Los Garza are getting like legitimate chances to show their fucking talent. I've always felt like they've been really good.
That's how I felt about LWO too.
Yeah, it's just, that's exactly it. Like, it's like, okay, you're not showing what these guys can do. Like, if anything, I'm glad they have AAA now because it's going to give a chance for a lot of these underused Latin talents, and also to a whole new playing ground for guys like Omos, that it's like, okay, maybe they're not the U.S. crowd is going to eat them up, but in Mexico, this guy's going to be a fucking massive deal, which he is.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's like that. This is a great thing to come out. And I know people, because I've seen their partnerships. I've seen what they have done business-wise with other companies. Sometimes there's other partnerships or acquisitions that they've made where they have made companies look worse after time. But I honestly feel like, especially now, because you don't have people with personal vendettas running the company anymore.
I don't think it was just personal vendettas. I think he just wanted to kill the competition as much as he could.
Wish he did it more to AEW, but whatever.
I don't know, but I don't disagree with at least Los Garza and LWO, like we were talking about. I think it's so much better.
I will say this on the comment with Vince. I do appreciate Vince for also being like, why counter program against him? I have a bigger market share. Where it's like he's out of the picture now. They're just like, we're going to counter program them. It's like, well, Vince is just like, what it was like. I'm going to cut more guys so you can sign them.
The thing with Vince, though, too, was he'd run relatively unopposed for so long.
Yep.
Like you said, he had the bigger market share, but these are the companies, I'm not going to name names, I don't think I need to, are on like TBS and TNT. So, not for nothing, a lot of those channels like TBS, TNT become people's local RSNs.
Yes.
So, they're not going to show your program, they're going to show the game. And they get fucked.
That's another thing, too, that people need to realize about the ESPN deal, other than WWE, because a lot of it has to do with of the deteriorating market of these local regional sports networks. There's not many around. I can name probably 4 that are successful. Yes, Nesson, MSG, and I guess Chicago WGN are one of the ones they have out there for their sports packages, because it's.
I'm sure like LA and California, like, probably have some too, I would imagine, but
Somewhat.
Can't think of them off the top of my head.
Yeah, but I don't think, well, for one thing, LA it's a sports town, but it isn't. They care about the Lakers. They somewhat care about the Dodgers if they're winning. I think Rams, and you can get a good Rams seat now cheap. You can get a good Chargers seat now cheap. Anaheim, don't even get me started. They're like the Kings when they're winning. So it's hit or miss. But you look at places like Arizona, nobody cares about sports because they would rather watch, because of the transplants out there, people from other states, they'd rather watch SNY or MSG or Yes or Nesson than they would watch the Diamondbacks coverage or the Coyotes coverage. The Coyotes are a thing anymore. I don't even know if they are.
I actually don't even know. But yeah, I just they're running these shows on those platforms and TBS and TNT, and if that's picking up the local affiliate for the game, you're not watching that AEW show or that.
You're not.
Or back in the day, Nitro or Thunder, because it was the same stuff, it was the same channels. So,
Nitro and Thunder. Man, I miss those days.
I do. But
even though WCW was terribly booked a lot of times, I miss it.
Yeah, but like 97, 98, 99, it was booked okay.
96 through 98, it was really good. And then running back Flair and Hogan again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, why not? I'll stick around.
Pagano, Sicko Count become the new AAA World Tag Team Champions. 2 more matches. Let's see. So the next match was the triple threat for the Rana Championship.
Slamar.
Dude, I'm gonna butcher these names.
Slammer.
Sorry, she's Flamer. Retains her championship against Fabi Apache, I think is how they said it on the show. I don't remember. And Natty Nightheart, Natalia. I think they botched the finish on this, by the way.
Natty, yes. I'm glad Natty, again, getting booked. It's like, again, if you're not going to do anything with her, let her go to other places. Recently, wrestling for Josh Barnett's Bloodsport for the GCW banner. I like that. I like the fact that she's kind of going out there on the indie circuits or the other. It's nice to see this company just be like, yeah, you can go do it. Go do it.
You know what my biggest problem is with it though is
what?
Book her on TV and the same character she is on the indies.
I know.
He would be over as that style of a heel.
I know.
It's so dumb.
I know.
Like she
It
comes
really
out
is.
in the Natty Nightheart, which she's playing in the Indies, and I'm loving it. She's really aggressive, more so than she is, I would argue, otherwise in WWE, because she's still booked as that baby face. And then sure enough, Monday comes and she looks all glammed up like she normally does on WWE TV, hanging out with Tozawa, hanging out with Maxine Dupree, and it's like, I need Natty Nightheart. Where is she?
Yeah.
You just showed her to me. I need more of that. It kills me.
Her sister too. I mean, sorry. We could keep.
I'm not even trying to be like that, but you're not wrong. But you're not wrong. I'm just saying I like the character work that she's putting into this more aggressive style of herself, and she could be really over as a heel, and it doesn't make any sense that they're not pulling the trigger.
I need to. So on the cruise, I need to bring this up because my niece is somewhat of a terrorist for this.
Oh, shit.
So so there was formal night on Tuesday and Thursday, and of course the class individual that I am at one point, I found out that the day I found out that they had the Hollywood Club, which was the indoor pool and hot tubs. When they had formal night at one point, I was walking around on one of the decks with my towel and my towel and bathing suit on. I was just walking down the hall. Everybody's in these like dresses and suits. So I'm hanging out with my niece and like we're walking someplace. And this woman walks by. She looks like Jessica Chastain in like this black dress, and my eye just immediately. Yeah, exactly. My eye is just immediately just like, and all of a sudden she's just like, damn. And I'm just like, shut up. You're a terrorist. I don't want to hear this. Because for a moment you're just like, your jaw is just like, ah.
I mean, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. It's exactly what I was saying to her. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, really? Like, it's like, did I have a conversation with her? No. It was like 5 seconds, and that was it. But she had to ruin that 5 seconds of just taking me out of reality. God.
What an asshole.
Really? Like, come on. I didn't ask for it. Like, come on.
What an ass.
Who, me or her?
Her.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I love her, but she's an asshole for that.
That's just an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't understand.
Yeah. I do. She clearly did not.
She's going to be 30 in a couple weeks.
Please don't say that.
I'm not. It's like, I'm fucking happy about it.
Please
I'm
don't
like
say
Johnny
that.
Sack right now. Am I smiling?
Jesus Christ. I really wish I had some Soprano sound bites right now. All right, but yeah, this was
Jesus, John, it's like 40 grand.
Yeah.
Am I smiling?
Am I smiling? I thought this was a good match. I just thought they botched the finish a little bit.
Like they botched Natalia in WWE.
Well, that's kind of what I've been arguing for the past 5 minutes, but yeah, pretty much.
I'm just backing you up, bro.
I
Give me
know.
a break.
I know. The last match, though, was another banger for El Hijo del Vikingo as he retains against not only Dominic Mysterio, not only Dragon Lee, but also El Grande Americano, who had the best entrance of the night. I'm sorry.
Who knew they would get this guy over as much as they have?
Who knew that Kaiser...
I think this is why they need. This is
on.
why they need Danhausen.
Yeah. Who knew that they would get Kaiser over even more as El Grande Americano?
I know.
And who knew that he himself would get the character of El Grande Americano even more over than Chad Gable was able to?
Chad Gable must be just punching walls right now. It's just like,
That was my thing!
you fucking ruined it! Ah!
No, he made it fucking better.
I know, but
Because Chad would not go out singing in fucking Spanish.
No, he wouldn't. And it's just like, you look, but Kaiser, you put him in anything and he fucking hits home run and home run. And it's like, let him do this. Let him do this then. This is his career.
Yeah, man. I want him to keep doing it. But here's the thing: if he's gonna keep doing it, I need some Bruce Wayne to the Batman of El Grande Americano. I'm just saying. I'm just fucking saying. And it'll be fucking hilarious. And I know that's what they were trying to do in Chad, but then Chad got hurt. So right now, right fucking now, I need some Bruce Wayne to the Batman of El Grande Americano.
Oh God! Like, you know what though? It's just, I would if you want to do an alter ego for him, this is what you have to do. You have to dye his hair black. You have to let him grow like one of those mustaches from like one of those bad Mexican soap operas with the rose in his mouth.
Hilarious.
You have to go that way. Because that's the only way, in my opinion, you can pull this on. Like, that's his alter ego of just like, he's this suave Mexican. It's just, that's what you go with. Like,
oh my God. That'd be hilarious.
That, in my opinion, is exactly what you have to do.
It's funny you say it, though, because as you're saying it, I'm thinking, like, okay, Tiffany Stratton is Vicky Vale.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work. You just talk Spanish to her all the time. Oh my goodness.
It's just, I have to go.
Duty calls, my love.
And people are sitting there, they're just like, yeah, you're right. He could do creative.
It's
Holy
not,
shit!
It's not hard. At least we're not booking
Holy
Jey
shit!
Uso to win the Rumble.
They're just fucking, yeah, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting there at the table. Punk. And I'm like, Punk. Guy next to me. Jey Uso.
Like,
He didn't say shit.
Just
Sit down and shut the fuck up.
Pull his chair out from under him at that point. Just yank it all the way out.
I just throw him through the fucking window.
Yeah, that, like the meme. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I just
The one guy who says Jey Uso.
I just, for me, it should have been Punk, but that's neither here nor there. Listen, I thought this was a banger. I knew Kaiser could wrestle a different style if he chose to. It was always, you could always see it in him whenever he wrestled for Imperium and stuff, and to see him shine both as the character Grande Americano, but also, and I gotta say the same thing for the three WWE representatives here, for him, for Dom, and for Dragon Lee to be main eventing AAA's premiere show of the year is awesome.
Especially for Dragon Lee. It's finally so glad to see
him
finally doing something. Because I felt like as soon as I got Penta and fucking Phoenix, for him, it was just like, well, I guess I'm fucked, ain't I?
Book it. No, because here's the thing, man, right? And I would have argued this regardless, but I think right now WWE has a really great opportunity to bring another title, whether that be a cruiserweight title, whether that be a lucha title, whatever the fuck. You could do a lot of different things, and they have a really great opportunity. And listen, you have AAA now, so you have all these championships that came with it that you more or less featured in this card. So why not bring your WWE guys and send them to Mexico every so often? Why not build a show and platform and everything for AAA to do it that way? And if this was able to be as successful as it was, why not do it? But again, you have three guys that, they're on TV fairly regularly, maybe not Dragon Lee, but they're on TV at least regularly enough, and now you're bringing them more mention. You're doing the same with Natalya. You're doing the same. You don't need to do a Judgment Day, but sure. You're doing the same with the Otis, with the Omos, with the LWA representatives. You had Ray on the TV at some point before Vikingo came out for his entrance. You have all these guys that are showing up here, and I think it's a great opportunity. But again, I have to look at a guy like Kaiser, who really hasn't been in the main event of anything at this point, save maybe a one-off TV show. You know, Dom's been in main events at this point. Dragon Lee, though, same thing as Kaiser. Like, you're putting these guys in the main event of, yes, your secondary company maybe, but still, it's a main event of a premier show for the year. That's huge to me.
It is. This is their version of WrestleMania, and
Absolutely
they
is.
and to be in that spot is huge. It also establishes all three talents now. Even as a comedy gimmick, you could make the argument with. Yes, it is a comedy gimmick, but at the same time, Kaiser is just killing this thing. It's just like, if you're Chad Gable right now, you're just like, what am I going to do when I get back? Because you can't run it. You can't run it back and just give it back to him. It's like, no, this ain't going to work.
No, they have to pay for the mask. They have to pay for the mask. That thing has to go over, like, it has to be like a ladder match, honestly. Like, string it up over the ring and let them fight it out for it. Fuck it.
So, now with AAA and the success of this acquisition by TKO and WWE, this brings me to my next point, because of the fact that I had alluded earlier to the struggles of New Japan Pro Wrestling and how that this coming weekend's Forbidden Door really doesn't feel like a Forbidden Door, considering the fact of, and Mac and I both have agreed, New Japan has depleted to the point of that their G1 Climax finals was held this past weekend, and the winner of the G1 Climax this year, and who will be challenging Zack Sabre Jr. at some point. I'm surprised he's not doing it at Forbidden Door, which would have made the most sense considering the fact of that he already works for AEW, and that is Takeshita. Takeshita won the G1 this year, which I was shocked considering the fact that he is majority known for his work in AEW. And the reason I say that, and why I'm shocked that he won it, is because of the fact that, again, he's majorly known for his work in AEW, not for his work in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So why is New Japan Pro Wrestling putting the belt on somebody, having Takeshita win the G1 and most likely probably winning the title from Zack Sabre Jr.? And also, why isn't the match happening at Forbidden Door? Instead, Zack Sabre Jr. is defending the title against Nigel McGuinness, who's not a full-time wrestler and is technically an announcer.
That I didn't know.
That makes sense.
Because I also didn't look at the card, but that's dumb.
It is, and Takeshita is not even booked for Forbidden Door. Like, he's not even on the card. And he just won the G1. I'm looking at that. I am shocked by that. He just won the G1 for AEW in New Japan, and he's one of your guys. And he's not even, like, this just shows, because I'm looking at this now, right? And so the tag team match, it's a lights out steel cage match. The Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin and Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay versus the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and the Young Bucks, and Gabe Kidd. So that's only two New Japan talents.
I'm looking it up right now.
Two New Japan talents in that match. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, go up against Brodito, Brody King, and Bandito versus FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood. That is all AEW tag teams.
This is a stupid card. Holy crap.
Not involving anybody from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okada versus Swerve Strickland. Again, not involving anybody from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Tony Storm versus Athena. Again, not involving anybody from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Mercedes Moné versus Alec Windsor and Paraphone and Bozilla.
Persephone.
Persephone. So that is so Persephone. So I think that involves New Japan or either Stardom talent. Kyle Fletcher versus Takahashi. So that's a New Japan talent. So 3 matches so far. Zack Sabre Jr., the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion, defending the title against Nigel McGuinness with Daniel Garcia. What? Okay. Hangman Page versus Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Okay. And Adam Copeland and Kristen Cage versus Kiss Sabian and Kill Switch. This isn't Forbidden Door. This is a fucking AEW show. Should not be co-branded with anybody. Because really you have guys just on loan from New Japan. This is an AEW show. So don't call it Forbidden Door. But and the fact that you don't have the guy who just won the G1 on the show. What?
There's like 3 New Japan talent, I think.
Yeah.
Current New Japan talent. We have to be clear in that statement because some of these people have been in New Japan before.
Tanahashi's the president who's winding down his career. And he's in the cage match with.
Yeah, it's just that to me is kind of weird too. At the end of the
this
day,
shows you how bad New Japan is, like how bad of state they are.
I don't want to say that. I think they've become bad, right? Because they used to be good. Let's be real. There was
tremendous.
A point in time where it's like if you weren't watching this, you needed to go watch it. And that's just not the case anymore.
I remember watching a New Japan show in 2018. And it was actually broadcasted. It was on Access TV. And it was Cody versus Kenny. And it was in San Francisco. And Kenny had just won the title from Okada. They got kicked out of Bullet Club that night. But there was such and of course, this was in the midst of WWE, and it was just like, what the fuck are they doing? And so I'm watching this, and I'm just like, this is fantastic. This is great. And it's a far cry from that. It's sad now because it's like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's a good chance that they're going to get bought out soon. Meltzer was talking about it this week about how they're really all left with their hardcore fans and everybody else is gone. Of course, Dave's not going to bring up why. He's not going to talk about why. He's not going to bring up the real facts on why they're the way they are right now. And yes, it is bad booking, but it's also because of the fact of they don't have any stars. Everybody's left. Everybody that was worth a damn or could draw money and Gabe Kidd, Zack Sabre Jr., all right. But there's no Okada. Tanahashi's old. Ibushi is not where he was. Naito's no longer there. He's got to have eye surgery, and he's done with the company. What do you have left?
I mean, all they really have, I feel like, at this point is Stardom.
So you wonder if New Japan's going to be the next acquisition by WWE or AEW. And I understand everybody's going to say, well, it's obvious Tony's going to get it. It's not obvious. It's not obvious.
I don't think it is, because now you have TKO money.
Yeah.
And
they'll overpay. They don't mind doing that.
For New Japan Pro Wrestling and the history of that, yeah, they 100% will pay for that. I would pay
Plus
for that
the lineage
now.
of that, the lineage of that.
That's what I'm saying.
Lineage,
yeah.
The everything
again,
that goes back to.
So hold on. Again, we have to be clear. New Japan Pro Wrestling also owns Stardom.
Yes.
So they're not getting just one. They're getting two for the price of one.
Yes.
So I totally understand that if I'm Tony, yeah, I'm going to make an offer. But TKO is probably going to overpay for it.
Oh, yeah. They don't mind. And the thing about it is that because they're going to want that to see if they can expand there. They're going to want to
talking
see
about doing it for years.
They wanted to do it with UK. They tried. COVID really screwed that up. I mean, that's the major reason. Well, I mean, it was losing money. I don't know about that. I think it was probably evening out.
Probably was breaking even, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I look at, even though NXT was a losing money entity. Yeah, it wasn't losing. I don't think it was losing the amount of money that other companies were losing in 1 year, especially a couple of years ago. Because I've heard number of years that AEW has lost between like $40 and $60 million some years.
Right.
TNA, same thing. WCW in the year 2000 lost $60 million alone.
Oh, I'm very aware, because
I don't think even if they lost $30 million in a year, that's still better than what others have lost.
right.
So
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I just, that's the most briefest rundown we've ever done for a preview, because it's hard to be excited about that show, I feel like.
Well, I'm not. I think there's going to be great matches. I can't knock their
I don't disagree.
ability to have great matches, but this is not a Forbidden Door. This is an AEW show. It doesn't feel special. It just feels like an AEW pay-per-view. That's it.
I mean, so listen, we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we did All In. The show was long.
It was.
It was very long. This is 9 fucking matches.
I know.
And they're probably going to have pre-show matches just like they did last time.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're going to be they're in London too.
Are they in London for this one?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. So right. It's going to be an afternoon show.
I mean, at least there's that, because holy crap. I was actually just looking and it is on Sunday, so I don't know, man. I don't want to commit to that, and it ends up being like freaking midnight like All In was. It's a lot, man. And you have a pre-show. Your first match is a lights out steel cage match with what? 1, 2, 3, 4 on 4.
Right.
Then you have a triple threat tag team match. You have Okada and Swerve. You have Tony and Athena. You have another 4-way for the women's TBS championship. And then you have the TNT championship match, IWGP match, the AEW championship match, and then who knows when Cope and Cage are going to go against Kip Sabian and Killswitch, which weird substitution for that, but whatever. I guess you had to bring Killswitch back however you could bring him back, or the toy dinosaur, whatever you guys call him these days. It's a lot, man. It's 9 matches, and then you're probably going to have 2 or 3 in a pre-show, because that's what they've been known to do.
Who knew he was the money in that? Who knew he was the money in that team?
And what? Him and Jungle Boy?
Boy and a dinosaur.
I knew he was the money.
This is how you bring Jungle Boy back. I'm going to feud with the Luchasaurus.
Gross. Nobody wants that. I don't want him, period. I want his girlfriend. That's what I want.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
I mean, it's just weird, right? You have 2 women's matches for 9 matches. Only 2 of them are women. It's kind of weird too.
Especially too, it's like, you know, so is this a unification match with with Tony Storm and Athena? Didn't you already do a champion versus champion match last month with for the
They're
women's
just saying
championship?
it's her contract cash in or whatever the hell it was because she won that battle royal.
But it's like, again, this is still champion versus champion, and
I
it's
don't disagree.
And again, it's like, all right, so you, I guess, run through the course, like, because Tony's beating everybody.
She's gonna beat everybody. She's gonna beat Athena.
She's probably gonna beat Athena.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like, so who's next after this? Is this like you're just gonna keep running people through her? Like, Christ.
I mean, honestly, they probably will.
They probably will. I mean,
she's massively over.
I know, and in that company, it's like.
Yeah, I mean, in this company, if you're not over, you're like not booked.
Not booked. Not booked.
Yep. Where's Dennis?
Because I'm not
there
booked.
We go, Dennis. Thank you.
Yes, living immortally in this show.
Yep, as always. All right, I think that's our show. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap for me too.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap for me. A good night to come back. It's good to be back. I hope everybody liked my part 1 of my toy collection. Of course, we'll probably do another one come October when I am away at the House of Mouse, which,
yes,
again, is like less than 8 weeks from now. By the way, an update to the people that are aware of the situation. I did not come back to a 3rd cat living in my house. So that's
just living outside your house.
Yeah, we're still feeding him on a daily basis. But that's fine. Like he comes for the food and then takes off, so it works out. So Boo-randeed. So on that note, folks, Mac, do you have anything else to close us out with?
I do not.
Okay. All right. You've been listening to Pro Wrestling World Talks or watching it, whether on YouTube, on Diamond Podcasting Productions, or on Spotify, Audacity, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to tune in next week. We will be previewing Clash in Paris, and also we will talk about some things that happened at Forbidden Door if they are really noteworthy. We'll give you our opinions on that, which there's only a couple things I'm really interested in, but that's really it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody!